Every weekend I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other. It's part of who I am. If you ride, you know what I mean. That's why I insure with Shannon's. They get it. They share our passion and give us the features riders want, like limited use cover and multi-vehicle discounts. Shannon's insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. Whatever you ride, ride with Shannon's.
Call 134646 for a quote.
Rare Spares has over 50,000 product lines and releases over 500 new products every year. Your local Rare Spares distributor has what you need when you need it. And as the only restoration company officially backed by Holden and Ford, we take our part in your project very seriously. Rare Spares, more than just a part in your project.
move. Blake Delaney had to move out of the way.
Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to your Tuesday night broadcast here on SRW TV. Tonight we bring to you the Simrigs V8 Supercars Amateur Series. This is round 3 of season 3 in 2023, thanks to Warren and Brown Tools. Tonight we are coming to you from Circuit de Barcelona. This is the historic layout, circa 95, track length 4.68 kilometres. We're looking at a track temp of 24 degrees Celsius. Tonight is our first top 10 shootout of the season as well, followed by a 60-minute race. Tonight it is myself, Nathan ShiBBy Howard, and next to me in the comms box is, as always, Thomas Preach Riley. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, my friend. Good evening, everyone. I am very, very excited to be here at Barcelona this evening. 4.68 kilometre circuit here. We're running the historic layout, but really it's the most similar to what is currently run on the Formula One and MotoGP calendar. 25 degrees at the moment. Based out of Montmeló in Spain. I don't know if I'm saying that right at the moment, but very, very excited.
Indeed, man. I get pumped every week for the AM series. These guys just turn it on every week, week after week. Solid driving and keeping it really clean as well.
Yeah, definitely. We had some really exciting driving last week from all the lads, and even the week before. Apart from the
reverse top 10. Yeah, the reverse top.
Yeah, some of the incident that happened in week 1 out of turn 1, I think was quite spectacular. But look, and the reverse top 5 last week as well. The reverse top 5 with that absolute chaos down after turn 3 was something to behold. But I'm very much looking forward to what is to come from this evening. Just looking at the season results from last week. Coming out on top in the feature race was Jake Edwards. He came across the line by 0.6 over Miles Burgess. Jace Douglas not too far behind. Andrew Cowan had a great week, had a really good week last week. A 9th and then a 4th in the sorry, did I get that right? He had a 9th, and then he had an 11th, and then he managed to finally get himself up there with a 4th in the feature race. Some names were a bit further back down the order last week. Liam Tipping was one who we thought might be a bit further up, and so was Jeremiah. I haven't seen Joe on our timing screens just yet. So Liam Tipping on board at the moment for Race on Oz Esports. He'll be hoping to do nicely this week. We've got a couple of times to practice already. Darren Crosby sitting on top at the moment on a 44.01. With Tim Nicol, who hasn't raced, I don't think he's raced yet with us, so he'll be eager to get going. Oh, and Joe Marnie does jump himself up there into P3 at the moment on a 144.1. Other than
that's true. I was actually looking for his name too, and I didn't believe I saw it as well. But no, there he is. He's definitely out there right now. Wants to get out there and improve a little bit. I was having a chat to him through the week. He felt a little upset over his driving in the practice he put in, and didn't feel that he, got to where he wanted to be in the last couple of races. So I'm sure this evening we come and see him firing on all 8 cylinders tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I've been speaking to him as well during the week. He thought that he might have been close to over, but it's definitely not over, especially when you've got the pace that he does, our defending series champion. He wants to get himself right back up. Starts tonight, and he's doing himself what he needs to do at the moment, bringing himself into P3. given it is only practice, but he's got quite a few big names behind him, and the battle will rage on, I think, with him and Tim Nicol moving forward.
Oh, definitely, mate. And, got to say, if Troy Dooley races like he did in the Pro-Ams on Sunday night, we might have another up-and-comer that's going to be up there and battling with the front pack constantly, because, oh my gosh, did Troy Dooley have a phenomenal race on Sunday.
I can't say but I will
Take my word for it.
take your word for it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, some of these AMS drivers on the Pro-Am series on a Sunday night, thanks to Simrigs, are absolutely sticking it to the pros at the moment. It's going to be interesting after round 3 to see where our pros and AMs actually fully slot in. There might be some surprises of who we think AMs actually end up in the Pro Series this season. So definitely looking forwards to it. Jason Douglas, the young gun from LMR Esports, had another phenomenal drive on Sunday as well. And at the moment with the points, I do believe he's sitting in P1.
He is. So he's doing himself exactly what he needs to do to mount a challenge in this championship. Still only around 3, and there's still another 6 to go after this. So it's a long way to go for these drivers, but they'll be most definitely looking forward to capitalising on what they can. Scotty Van Loon is sitting in second at the moment, only 3 points in front of Scott Weston. So there's a big battle going to go on there. M1 Racing, their 2 drivers, Chris Burridge and Darren Crosby, are sitting equal on points for 4th at the moment. And then Miles Burgess slots himself into 6th. So there's some names sitting in and around the top 10 at the moment that are definitely going to be challenging. We've got 2 Quantum Becky's cars, 2 M1 Racing cars, and 2 Chris Crosby Racing cars jumping themselves in there.
I think 4 of those names you just said out of that top 6 aren't even in the session yet. So that leaves some free points open this evening.
What have we got there? Jason Douglas. No Van Loon.
Nope, I don't see Scotty in there at the moment.
Scott Weston.
He is, yes, he's in there.
He is. Chris Burridge.
Don't see Chris tonight.
Darren Crosby is at the top.
Yep, Darren is there.
And then Miles Burgess is
Not in.
wow.
So a few points.
Yeah, definitely.
Chris Burridge actually just joined the chat. How you doing, Chris? We're just chatting about you, mate. He said, go Team M1, Dazza and Steve, get up there, boys. He said, no racing for me tonight because he's on holidays. Well, mate, thank you for joining the broadcast this evening while you're on holidays, buddy. Really appreciate it. Mr. Peter Pav, that was beautiful. What? Okay, we're getting a rewind replay of that because that was
set that
phenomenal.
Up from a mile back.
He knew what he was after here.
Oh, tip it in, dog.
Petard showing you what our AM drivers can do by drifting a V8 supercar. Beautiful. Well, that is the end of our practice session. We are going to head straight into our Racecraft qualifying session. Of course, thank you to Racecraft. As we quickly see if I can jump onto someone to catch the pit lane exits. Sometimes these guys fly out of the pit lane. Here goes our Simrigs Amateur Series heading out to the track for round 3 this evening. After qualifying, there will be our first top 10 shootout of the season, and it's going to be an absolute cracker. I've been waiting the last 2 rounds to get this the top 10s happening, so highly excited. I hope you're all pumped out there watching the broadcast this evening as Preach and I bring you all the action tonight. Alright, so the 777 car of Travis Daly, who we are on board with now from Performance Sim Racing. Ristigo has just dropped in actually and said, go the PSR boys. So he is leading the pack out on the warm-up lap. And then we will start getting these times flying through as they start their qualifying session. Have just had a message. Bruce White has joined LMR Esports.
Wow. Going to be jumping, grab himself some more drivers. Very, very exciting.
Yeah.
That field a bit more.
It's actually really good to see the teams involved with SRW growing. Like every season we see like all the teams sort of pick up new drivers that have joined the series, and you know, a lot of teams are out there to help newer drivers get better. So great to see a lot of the AMs getting snaveled up, especially some of the new guys that are privateers by teams. So it's only going to help their racecraft and driving. Mr. Harry Dodds has Mr. Harry Dodds has dropped in and said, "Howdy, lads. Hope you're doing well, Dodsy." Mike Hathaway, look at this. PSR is also picking up people left, right, and centre as well. I don't think he was in a PSR livery last week.
No. Got a bit of green going on that one.
So again, there's another team jumping on board with some of these AM drivers, which is, again, great to see. I love it. All right, the times will start coming in soon. If I actually have the timing tower shown, that would probably help. Okay, no times come through. Yes, Douglas. Oh, a bit of a lock up there. Douglas is on some greens. Dooley, Mahoney.
I'm just going to watch out for Dooley. Darren Crosby's just been in the fastest first sector out of everyone, so I'm expecting to see his time start to look very, very inviting. Andrew Cowan set the current fastest second sector.
He just pipped Troy Dooley because Troy Dooley had that. It's so close.
Here we go. Troy Dooley coming round the second to last corner here. On the brakes, get it tipped in nicely for the final corner. Running all the way out on the ripple strip. Don't want to get an off track there. We'll come across the line. We'll set a first lap time of a 44.5. So looking to see what Andrew Cowan can do. He does a 44.8. So loses just about 3/10 in the last sector relative to Troy Mark Houghton. Liam Tipping, sorry, jumps up to third. 55.2. So time's starting to flow in now from all these drivers. Keep our eye on Darren Crosby at the moment. That's the fastest first sector. Tim Nickel bangs himself up to the top on a 44.1. So puts 4/10 on the rest of the field at the moment.
Did I just click? It's all right. I worked out. Travis Nielsen slots himself up into provisional P8. 145.79. Douglas, Jason Douglas, straight up to P2, the 144.3. Again, look how close Mahoney. There he is, jumping up into P3. 144.5. As we see them settle in, we'll start seeing how close these guys are actually going to be, but I guarantee there'll only be a second, maybe a second and a half between this field here tonight. Liam Tipping is on all personal best for the JTIT Race on Oz team. Looking very clean at the moment. Might even try and grab a hot lap on board with one of the drivers.
Who's likely to be starting on a lap right now? Jake Edwards? Where's that? A bit further around the lap, but what he can do here, Jake Edwards, he's on an out lap, I think.
Keep an eye on those times on the left-hand screen. Darren Crosby now jumps up into P7 145.052. Time's coming in hot and fast. It is a 20-minute qualifying session for a top 10 shootout.
Mike Haddathy's just started his first lap. We jump to him.
Sure, why not?
Alrighty, so turning in for turn 1 here. Leaving it in second gear, running it up over the curbs, gets the car back to the left-hand side. Pulls third nice and early, modulate the throttle, let the car wash out a little bit. We're not ideal with what he wants to do there. Pick up the throttle, run it down now into turn 4, heavy on the brakes, get the car tucked in. Keep it tucked in as best you can, double apex it a little bit. You can run out pretty wide here. It's a short curve though. Again. Down on the brakes here. Tricky corner. You can get on the power nice and early if you run the car inside the groove. Just having another second grab on the throttle there. It is looking like a decent lap time for him though at the moment to go personal best. Sorry to set his first lap of the session. Bit deep. To the second to last corner here now. Fast right hand up. Okay starting that time for him, 50.5. So he'll be definitely hoping to build on that. Might have just been getting his tyres up nicely. Start another lap.
Vigor just slotted himself up into P10. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, there will be our first top 10 shootout for the season straight after the racecraft qualifying session. And at the moment, see there we are on P10. Rick Vigor, everybody above him at this period of time will go through to the top 10. Travis Daly on some greens. Daly, someone just moved. Daly just jumped up into 7th, knocked Vigor down to 11th. A good lap by the PSR driver. Saw Steven Sinkovic get a lap in as well, 148.08. Nickel just goes better, does a 143.829. Really solidifies that pole position at this point in time. He's quite happy with himself there. He is just doing a warm down at the moment. Tim Nickel here for Quantum Peckies Performance Racing. Really quick lap. Car 69 is getting a rear of grid for impeding another car during this qualifying session. I nearly said car 69 is getting a Republic of Gamers for impeding another car. Car 69 is Mike Hatherday. Hatherthy? Yeah, Hatherthy, not Hatherday. Scott Weston is looking like he's on a good lap at the moment. The GMK Logistics team. Good to see all those window banners starting to appear on the cars. Liam Tipping's out there again. Coming over now. Didn't improve at all. Travis Daly over, didn't improve. Sinkovic though, 2 personal bests. Still didn't improve on the ladder. Bruce White running some personal bests. Has been recently signed to the LMR Esports team. Looking very smooth through there, Bruce. See where he can put himself, if he will jump back up into that top 10 shootout. He will. He knocks Rick Vigard down. He jumps one spot to land himself back into provisional P10. But Pavlovich, Patar comes through and knocks them both down.
Pavlovich at the moment sitting on that provisional, right on the cusp of that top 10 shootout. Keep our eyes on anyone who's like threatening. A couple of fast times coming through. Stephen Kennedy at the moment has done some personal bests. Tim Nicol improved his time last time around to 43.8, so
That's the wrong
he's
Stephen.
sitting nicely at the top at the moment.
Oh, Kennedy's just pulled over. I was actually a little confused there when I clicked on Stephen. I was like, how come Stephen Kennedy has an SRW livery? Wrong Stephen. M1 Racing team here. You guys on their outlaps. Nicol, Mahoney, Dooley, Crosby tipping all back on outlaps now. Douglas is the only one still out there setting laps at a bit of an off track as we jump to him, pushing the car to its absolute limit and testing those boundaries. Alan Hodgkinson on a personal best in Sector 1. The Crisscross Racing team. He'll come across the line. Is he going to improve? He won't improve.
Quite a few drivers now on their outlap, as he said. ShiBBy. Just want to keep our eyes on what can happen here. Alan's trying to push on with it here.
Gonna get about another 7 minutes. Marty Hansen finally getting some laps in. I think that might have been his outlap, but he did have a lot of personal bests. Whether he's set one yet, he hasn't actually set a lap time yet. So this will be Marty's first lap for the GMK Logistics team. Hope we are all doing well out there, enjoying the Simrigs V8 Supercars AM series here on SRW TV. Rick Vigor clocking in another personal best. He's in a battle at the moment with Pavlovich White to try and lock themselves into that final top 10. He goes across the line up into P8. Knocks Pavlovich out of the top 10 shootout. That was a much better time. I'm sure Rick Vigor is going to be really stoked with that. Talking about times, look how close this field is this evening. Alan Hodgkinson didn't improve, will stay in P13. Brett Taylor out there right now. He does improve on his own time. Everybody else is sort of settling in at the moment. Nobody really going any faster than what they've already set laps. Nicol is back out there again, though. Really showing some form out here at Barcelona.
But he had a bit of a moment there.
Yeah, it looked like we caught him just as he came off a bit of a tail slide. Troy Dooley up into P4. Kennedy just jumps up into P9. That drops Sipple out of the top 10.
We're watching that gap at the moment. Cut-off time at the moment is a flat. Got to be absolutely on to try and beat that time at the moment.
Look how close they are. They're only a hundredth of a second off, a thousandth of a second off for Sipple. Oh no. Kennedy's off track. Daly is coming around. Petard just did a personal best in the last sector. Is that going to let him improve? I didn't see a time pop. May have got himself a 1x then.
45.3 in the end. So just about 3/10 off.
Marty Hansen on 2 personal bests, sitting in P20 at this present time with 3 minutes left to go of the racecraft qualifying session. Within the next 3 minutes, we will know the drivers who are going through our top 10. He does improve, goes up into P19. Craig Healy follows him through. His teammate will slot himself into P20. So they, at this present time, will start on the grid next to each other.
I'd be expecting right now that Cowan is probably the top of the danger zone. Oh.
He's just showing us how to reverse park.
Yes.
Mark Houghton, Horton, here's a Hugh. And some personal bests here as well.
He's just about to start that time, looks a fair way off, so he's already started.
Oh yeah, wow.
Somewhat early. Stay on board with him here though.
Thanks to Warren and Brown Tools for the cockpit cam. Let's ride on board with Mark Horton. Peter Pav, we've got to keep an eye on him as well. He is in contention for that top 10 shootout. And he jumps into 8th. 8th place, knocks Daly out of the top 10 shootout.
Kennedy now driver at risk. Got 4 cars now in between, just over a 10th of a second.
Craig Healy has just appeared on our timing table with personal bests in first and second sectors. He's sitting in P20 at the moment.
Indeed, what can he do? Gets himself a 46.2. So, does nicely to improve. At the moment, looks like he's starting from the 20th position. Little big catch there for Mark Houghton. Got a bit of traffic in front of him.
It's one of the SRW Motorsports. He will move over and let Horton get through. Travis Nielsen gone over the line. No improvement there. Oh, nice catch again.
Horton looked like he was about 10, maybe 2/10 away in the first sector. Got himself a personal best in the second. Coming across the line now. Has he done enough? I don't think he has. No, not quite. He loses a 10th and a half.
Rick Vigor coming across now. Will keep himself locked in for a top 10 shootout. The last cars on track next across the line is going to be Stephen Kennedy.
55 car coming through the second to last corner.
These guys will get to run
in nicely to the apex. Can he jump himself further up the top 10, get himself a better launch tonight?
Oh,
does put himself up to P4. 44.4. That's a great time from him. Looking further back now, Travis Daly can't improve. He does a 45.08, so a 10th away from being inside the top 10 shootout. He will start 11th, pending no other changes here. 77's next across the line. Travis Nielsen not really setting the timing board alight.
Right behind him is Keegan Caldwell. I don't know. He's only just managed to get into the qualifying session. I wonder what he can pull out of his hat.
He's done a 30.5 to the first sector and a 42.3 to the second. So looking at that, it's looking like he's about probably a second and a bit away overall.
Oh, he's gone into the pits. So
Cowan follows him.
Yep. Travis
Brett
Nielsen
Taylor
improved on his own time, but didn't move up the table.
Taylor's on an outlap, so that will.
That's the end of the racecraft qualifying session.
Yeah. So Travis Daly will be the first of our cars confirmed in their grid positions. But running in the top 10 tonight, Tim Nicol on provisional pole with a 43.8. Jason Douglas, 5/10 behind him. He'll come out. He will provisionally be second. We've got Joe Mahoney, Stephen Kennedy, Troy Dooley, Liam Tipping, Darren Crosby, Andrew Cowan, Petar Pavlovich, and the first car that will be running out in the top 10 shootout is Rick Vigor in the Mustang, Birds Mustang. Cut-off time in the end was a 44.963. So Travis Daly unlucky to miss out by less than half a tenth. Race car qualifying results for you. Tim Nicol does get the provisional pole on a 43.829, 5/10 faster than Jason Douglas. So we're going to have Rick Vigor will be the first car out in qualifying shortly. Further back than the top 10, Travis Daly, Troy Sipple, Bruce White, Callum Hodgkinson, Mark Houghton, Travis Nielsen, Scott Weston, Brett Taylor, Marty Hansen, Craig Healy. And then further back from that, we've got Stephen Sigovich and Mike Haddathy with Jake Edwards and Keegan Caldwell setting a lap time. Mike Haddathy will be starting from rear of grid due to a penalty incurred in qualifying.
Right, these drivers aren't in privateers. I'm not sure what's happened. I've just checked all my settings. There's no reason for them to show privateer. But anyway, that is the end of the racecraft qualifying session. We will be heading over to our top 10 shootout server, where the top 10 will take it on in one hot lap to see who can take pole position this evening. So bear with us for 5 minutes while we move on over to our top 10 shootout server. We will be back in a minute after this quick intermission. Evening, Leaky. Thanks for joining us this evening. How you doing? Hope you're well, mate. Hope you're well. All the drivers are now in the briefing room with our race control this evening, getting their brief before this top 10 kicks off.
Every weekend, I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other. It's part of who I am. If you ride, you know what I mean. That's why I insure with Shannon's. They get it. They share our passion and give us the features riders want, like limited use cover and multi-vehicle discounts. Shannon's insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. Whatever you ride, ride with Shannon's.
Call 134646 for a quote.
We are taking this quick intermission if you want to help support the drivers out there on track as well as this awesome league. And of course, SRW TV, it's free and it's easy. All you got to do is, if you are enjoying this broadcast this evening, hit that like button to let us know.
Has over 50,000 product lines and releases over 500 new products every year. Your local Rare Spares distributor has what you need when you need it. And as the only restoration company officially backed by Holden and Ford, we take our part in your project very seriously. Rare Spares, more than just a part in your project.
And we are back for your Simrigs V8 Supercars Amateur Series. This is the first top 10 shootout of this season here in Barcelona. Our top 10 are getting the briefing right now from race control. First driver out on track. I've just had a mind blank. Will be Rick Vigor. If you don't know how the top 10 shootout works, I'll give you a quick rundown. They get one warm-up lap and one lap to set the fastest time they possibly can. Of course, any off tracks or X's on their lap will make their time null and void, as Rick Vigor in the Angry Bird Kumo Tires V8 Supercar Ford Mustang will head out on the track for the first time this season for our top 10 shootout. This will be his warm-up lap. Then he will get straight into it. This is going to be awesome. Ray Douglas, thanks for dropping in, mate. Thanks to the commentary team. You guys rock. Mate, we are rock stars, aren't we, Preach?
You'd like to think so. I just like to think I'm a regular guy who takes an interest in virtual sports.
Okay. Well, I'll stick to trying to be a rock star then. I'm definitely doing the wrong thing right now if I want to be a rock star, but I'll get there. Follow your dreams, they say. Speaking of following their dreams, Rick Vigor is going to want to follow the racing line as tight as possible to get the best lap in. First out on track. A lot of pressure on his shoulders now.
He's definitely not asking much of the tyres through his warm-up sequence here. He's very gentle on his throttle application. Don't want to take too much heat out of the... Don't want to put too much heat into the tyres. General rule of thumb that I've been told is to stay below 180 kilometres an hour. He has peaked over that a couple of times, but once you get the tyres sitting nicely, you don't want to overstress them. So as he starts his lap now, gets it tucked in nicely to the final corner to start his lap. Nice and clean start. He's going to be trying to hit all of his gear shifts, using those lights to his advantage. He runs all the way downhill now into turn 1. Very composed under brakes. Tucks the car in nicely to turn 1. Gets it back across to the left very nicely for turn 2. Now he's got to modulate the throttle and the brake. Just keep the car tucked in to the apex here for the long turn 3. We'll get our first sector marker here as he crosses the line. It's a 30.0, so on or thereabouts the number that he needs to be doing. Coming around turn 4, another long corner here. Lots of time loaded on that left rear tyre. Tucked in nicely through turn 5. Run down now through turn 6 up to turn 7. Difficult section here. Under brakes, downhill, tuck the car in, and then you can let the car run out wide to the turn 8 curb. Get the car settled nicely for turn 9. Fast right-hander. Very nicely indeed. We'll get our second timing marker here as he comes across the sector. The 41.1. So sitting nicely. It was about where he needed to be. Gets the rear a little bit unstable through the entrance into turn 10. Runs it very wide to try and V off this corner. Get a late apex through turn 11. So turn 12, now turn 13. All the way out to the exit curb. Careful on the X's. Tucks it in nicely to this final corner, turn 14. Runs up to the line. What's going to be our benchmark time? It will be a 44.8. So we're going to expect times to be in and around that mid to low 44s, I'd be expecting. Thinking about the track conditions that we've got at the moment.
Well, let's ask Rick how he felt about that lap. Rick, how you doing this evening, mate?
Yeah, good, guys.
How'd you feel first top 10 shootout of the season, mate?
Yeah, pretty happy with that. I went quicker than quali, so that's always a good thing.
Mate, that's a huge positive. Did you feel the pressure on your shoulders being out there for the first car on track this evening?
I think it's worse than you're sitting there waiting, to be honest. I'm just happy to get out there and get it done. Sitting there in the pits being nervous and thinking about it.
Just get it out there, smash it out,
Yeah.
and then relax for the race.
Yeah, that's it. So, no, pretty happy with that. It was pretty clean, a couple of little mistakes, but yeah, pretty happy.
Well, like you pinched the rears heading into turn 10. Is that what happened? You sort of over-rotated heading into there.
Yeah, just probably a little bit greedy, went a little bit deep in there and then locked the rears, and then the next corner I sort of slid into as well. So, but pretty happy.
All right, mate. Well done on your time. Patar's just started his lap, mate. Good luck tonight for the race.
Thank you, guys.
Jump to Tar Pavlovich now, starting his lap nicely. Hear him modulate the throttle all the way through this corner. Don't want to overexcite the rears. Push the car too wide on exit. And our first timing split here, 30.17. So sitting a little bit further away from Rick Vigor. He's lost about a tenth and a half through the first sector. Sitting nicely in second gear. feeling the loud pedal now. Turns 7 and 8. Uses the curb on both sides. Careful not to get an X there. If you run too far off that curb, you will get the off track. We get our second timing intermediate here. Looking for something around the 41. 41.3, so another 2/10 off Rick Vigor. So Rick's time at the moment is looking quite competitive, although we know that he had a little bit of a moment. Now tries to catch the car through turn 10 and turn 11. Turn 12, car looks very nice. Took it a lot tighter on the entrance than what Rick did. Tucks the car in nicely again. Car sliding around a little bit through the mid-corner. Either way, a very good lap. He does put himself into P2. It's about half a second away from Rick Vigor. So hopefully that's not an omen of things to come for the rest of these drivers. Should be expecting some faster times.
And let's have a quick chat with Patar right now.
Patar, mate, well done. Nice lap. A little bit further away from Rick. With track conditions a little bit different to what you're expecting.
Yeah, just greasier.
I'm guessing so, because that was that's a line through turn 4.
Yeah, not the right one.
Look, mate, it wasn't a bad lap. It was pretty neat and tidy. Just it looked a little bit greasy. It looked like you were sliding around a little bit. Looking forward to the race though.
Yeah, definitely. And 60-minute race around here is going to definitely be a little bit challenging. So goals just to keep it clean, and hopefully we end up somewhere good at the end.
Well, you've been able to do that on numerous occasions, put yourself in a good position by just keeping it clean. So I wish you the best of luck, mate. Go well, and we'll see you during the race.
All right, thank you.
Andrew Cowan, your not-so-average sim racer, starts his lap. Uses all the curve on the entry to that corner, turn 1. Careful in front of that, keeps the car tucked in nicely. Up on the curb, on the inside of the corner. See, just on the gear change there, the rear just wanted to step out a little bit, had to catch it. Turn 4 now. Just advancing that throttle percentage very, very smoothly. .06 for the first sector, so there or thereabouts with Rick Vigor. Uses all the curb. Got up to this end of the second intermediate now. 41.3, so he's about a 2/10 away overall compared to what Rick managed. Certainly not unassailable, given we know that Rick had that little moment through turn 10. Cowie keeps it nice and smooth. That looks very nice through the exit. Oh, and he's run wide. That will be the off track that will unfortunately void his lap. Just picked up the throttle a bit too much there on the exit off turn 13. And unfortunately, his time will not count. So at the moment, he'll be starting off the back of the grid. Or off the back of the top 10, I should say. We'll get Cowie in here in just a moment.
Oh, how about just now? Cowie, mate, that was looking phenomenal.
I stuffed it at the end there. I didn't know if it was up or not. It felt ordinary. I was sliding around all over the shop. So I just pushed a bit too hard in there at the end because I thought I had to catch up a couple of tenths and pushed too hard.
Definitely seems to be the track condition so far, because Vigor and Pavlovich both were a bit slidey. It looked very greasy out there this evening, mate. But that lap was looking really well, and we saw that little slide off track, mate. But hey,
what happens?
Yeah, that's racing, mate, and you're looking forwards to the race tonight?
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's one of my favourite tracks. You know, it's one of those tracks where you need to trail brake a lot. You'd think, I generally like those sort of tracks, but those sort of couple of fast flowing corners, they're really difficult, and it's sort of one of those tracks that punishes you if you get offline really badly, and yeah, it's just hard to nail lap after lap. So I reckon there might be a few mistakes from the boys tonight sliding wide.
Well, we're going to find out, mate. Good luck in tonight's race, and we will definitely see you on the broadcast.
Thanks, buddy.
Darren Crosby now on his lap. Banged in a 30.03 to start his lap here in that first sector. Car looks very hooked up. No real evidence of sliding from him so far. Just on the brakes there. Really wanted to step away from him. Had to do a bit of counter steer to catch it. Parks it up on that inside curve. .41.05, so this is going to be a good benchmark here. Slots himself the fastest second sector. Keeps it tugged very tightly to the left-hand side whilst he advances that throttle pedal. Very smooth on exit. Gets it in nicely across that apex curve. Open up the corner a bit. Last corner now, parks it up on the apex curve again. Runs it out to the line. Should be seeing a banging sector here, and we do. It's a 44.31, so puts 5 tenths onto Rick Vigor. Darren, mate, that was a wonderful lap. You set it up really nicely with almost matching Rick's first sector, and then you just banged home 2 fastest sectors to finish the lap. Give us your thoughts.
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, the first corner, I was a little bit down, but I found it a little bit on the third corner. Then just tried to just be, I suppose, careful on some of the corners because you lock the fronts up so easy. But on, I found up a lot of my time up on corners, what corners is that? Corners 5 and 6 and 7. But coming on the straight, I lost a little bit. But anyway, I'm happy with that time anyway.
Yeah, mate, that's a pretty healthy margin to Rick. So hopefully that will be a good omen for things to come. Hopefully you can jump up through the field and advance that corner position. Wish you well, mate, for the race, and everyone see you at the end.
Thank you very much.
Liam Tipping for Race on Oz. Sponsored by JTIT and that wonderful orange car. Of course, we saw that take the championship win last season at the hands of Joe Marnie. Breaking down into turn 1. Pucks it in nicely, parks it up on the curve of turn 2. Rev limiter through the entrance to turn 3 and then just vamps the throttle.
God, it sounds good when they hit that limiter too.
29.96. Got our fastest first sector. This will be looking like a good lap time. Turn 5 now. Very smooth on the throttle pedal. It's able to pick up max percentage though, nice and early on the exit. Front grip there. Coming up to the second intermediate now. 41.3. So he's lost about 2 tenths from Darren Crosby. Got a fine goal in this last sector. Of course, Darren said that he was pretty happy with his run through this section of the track. Oh, picks up the loud pedal, plays licorice straps. I won't be doing well for his lap time there.
Did look bloody good though.
Across the line now. Let's see where it puts him. Puts him into P3. Only 4 hundredths between him and Rick Vigor. So, Liam, mate, You banged in the fastest first sector, and then just was the track a little slippy? Did you overheat your tyres or something? Because the time just ran away from you towards the end of the lap.
I think I just dropped the ball in that third sector a bit. Cooked the tyres a little bit coming into the hairpin. A bit of a lock brake, and I think that just sort of had a bit of a knock-on effect the rest of the lap.
That's unfortunate, mate. Tip it in. Lovely, nice job. Good save. Good save. Looking forward to the race, mate.
Yeah, I reckon it'll be a bit of fun. It's a tricky track. I think it'll be interesting. Very open, kind of similar to like Phillip Island sort of feel to it. Big long corners, a couple of hairpins struck in there. So I think tyre wear is going to be a big thing, and just keep it clean.
All right, mate. Well done on finishing that lap. Hopefully you can use that lap to your advantage and catapult your way through the field. Good luck.
Thanks, guys.
Roy Dooley starting his lap now. He's done a 30.19 for the first sector, so a little bit slower than what Pavlovich managed. 3 car. I look pretty good through turn 8. Second intermediate is here. 41.5, so a bit further away than what Matar managed. Definitely looks like the tyres are starting to give up a little bit through the end of this lap. Shifts to 4th on the exit to allow him to really get on the wheel, really get on the loud pedal. Runs it all the way out at the exit curb. And this is not getting off track. What does that manage for him? 44.8. So he bangs in the fastest final sector of a 33.1. Manages to find himself enough time to slot himself right in between Rick Vigor and Liam Tipping.
Evening, gents.
Evening, Troy. Well done on that lap. You managed to find yourself a healthy margin of time in that final sector.
Yeah, the first two were pretty slow, pretty cautious. A little bit slower than normal, but pretty happy with it.
And that was actually the fastest third sector that we've had all night by a 1/10 of a second. So you're putting yourself nicely there in P3 at the moment. Worst you can do is my maths. Worst you can do is P9 at the moment. So P7. Maths has escaped me. So that should be a decent spot to start the race. We're hearing a lot that tyres will cook a bit throughout this race. Have you done much practice to see what your stint length will be, what your ideal strategy is?
No, I haven't really. I haven't done too many long runs. The shorter runs that I have done, definitely noticed the tyres do get pretty warm after about 5 laps or so. I think. So yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting towards the end of the stints. Yeah, it should be a good race, nice long race for us.
Alrighty, mate. Well, we wish you luck. Hopefully you can move forward through the field. Given your pace in that last sector, that was pretty impressive. So good luck, mate.
Cheers, guys. Have a good night.
Stephen Kennedy, the second of the M1 racing cars, starting his lap. A 30.19 of the first sector. Certainly comes to that exit curve a lot earlier, so it might have carried a bit more speed through. Turn 5, turn 7 and 8 now. Oswald hooked up to the second sector, so we'll see what that does for him. Looking for the mid 41s, low 41s. Does a 41.2. Put himself in a nice spot at the moment. provisionally, it's probably got him sitting about P3 at the moment. Don't have a second bite of the throttle there, you heard it on broadcast. Across the line now. Should be good. Puts himself into P2 on another 44.815. Pips out Rick Vigor by 0.004 of a second. Stephen, mate, well done. Just beat Rick there. Give us your thoughts, mate.
I'd love to know that. Oh, it's very slippery out there at the moment, and very nervous being my first top 10 shootout, so I was very cautious.
Mate, you're about a tenth and a bit away through the first two sectors, and in that third sector, you managed to find it all back and just get enough to get it
okay. Yeah.
So I got the feeling that it was send it through the final sector to see what you can do. So,
yeah.
Mate, well done. You'll be starting no worse than in this one.
Okay.
So hopefully you can make your way forward through there.
Yeah. Could have been a lot worse.
Definitely could have been a lot worse. Currently lining up next to your teammate. So we'll see what happens.
Seems to be the way with me, Dolphin Daz. So.
All right, mate. We wish you the best moving forward, and we'll see you later on tonight.
Thanks a lot.
So Marnie now starting his lap, hammered it over that inside curve at turn 1, expecting this car to be flying its way through the field. We'll be hoping to be right towards the front. Give himself the best chance of getting himself back into this championship. 29.98 through the first sector. So about 2 thousandths away from his teammate who's done the fastest first sector. Let's see what he can do in the second sector. Car looks very nice. Big on the loud pedal. It's very smooth through there. 7 and 8. Short shifts third to reduce the wheel spin. Needs a little bit of steering after the corner, after the apex, sorry. Second sector, what does he manage? 41.2. Oh, and he's locked the rears. Just catches it. That won't be doing well for his lap time though. Gonna have the just send it mentality now, I'm sure. See what he can manage. Chasing the car now, chasing that lap time. Comes across the line. Puts himself into P7 on 45.6. About 8 tenths away from his teammate. Won't be what Joe was 100% happy with. Joe, mate, that lap time doesn't really reflect what the start of the lap looked like. Turn 10 bit you in the arse, I suppose.
Oh, do you want to hear that?
Well, you made it in the top 10, mate. That's probably something to still be happy with, and you've still got a chance to claw some points back. But yeah, hopefully you can find some form moving forward.
Yeah, it's a bit disappointing that, but look, it's good to be back doing these longer races and having the top 10 shootout. It's just going to be an interesting race with tyre wear and that sort of thing, so yeah, just see how we go.
Yeah, mate, well, I wish you the best of luck. We know that you've got the pace to be right up towards the front, so hopefully you can make that work for you and get yourself a solid haul of points tonight. Good luck, mate.
Thanks, boys. See you later.
Jason Douglas now starting his lap. The 88 car, our championship leader at the moment. Hams it in on the brakes into turn 1. Pulls up nicely. Car rotated very well on that curb through turn 2. Heavy on the brakes in turn 1, 29.93. It's a banging lap, time to start the lap. Just picked up the throttle a little bit early, looked like the rear stepped away from him a little bit through turn 4. Jams in on the brakes. Turn 5. Very aggressive, this looks like. Coming up now. 41.2. Sitting pretty nicely at the moment to put himself up towards the pointy end of this field. Throws it a gear just to get the run out of the corner. See where it puts him. 3-4 will put him P2. So slots himself in between Crosby and Kennedy, splits up those M1 racing cars. Jason, mate, well done. Puts himself into P2 there on a 44.5. Looks like your second sector your second and third sector just weren't quite there. Your first sector was very strong.
Yeah, just buggered up a bit. Got to go down another gear, but oh well.
Well, the best you can do is a front row start. You've only got Tim Nicol to come, so I'm sure you'll be looking forward to this race to surge your way back towards the front and really put a stamp on this championship lead that you've got.
Yeah, I hope so, and hope to come out tonight on top with the championship, but not focus on that. Focus on the race and wait until the end.
Perfect, mate. That's great mentality to have. We look forward to seeing how you go. So good luck, and we'll talk to you at the end.
Yeah, hopefully. Thank you.
Tim Nicol, our final runner, starting his lap now. Heavy on the brakes into turn 1, nice and late. As all the curb bounces the car off that yellow sausage curb on the inside of the corner. Dabs the brake a little bit to get the car to rotate into turn 3. .08 for the first sector. It's a little bit away from the best we've seen from Liam Tipping. We really need to be watching what he is relative to Darren Crosby, which is only half a tenth away. Just have to be patient for the throttle then. And 9. Nice and smooth on the throttle. Second split now, 41.1. Probably overall sitting about 10th and a bit away from what Darren has managed. Look to see what he can bang into the final sector. Run down to the final corner now. Lays a little bit of a licorice trap on the curb. What does this manage for him? Puts him into P3 on a 44.6. So, unfortunately, just couldn't quite find the time that he needed through that third sector. Pretty consistent gaps back to away from Darren Crosby. It will be Darren who will take pole position. Tim, mate, well done on that lap. Looked like it was hooked up to start with, and then you just lost about a tenth each sector towards the end.
Yeah, no, she's the track temp's climbing throughout this session, so I knew it was going to be a bit of a struggle at the back end, but tried to soften off the bars just to try and get it to grip up a bit, but yeah, just couldn't quite get it to turn in like I did in the pre-qual. Anyway, all good.
All good, mate. You start the second row out of P3. Sounds like you'll be in a decent position to make a charge towards the front. I haven't seen you in this series so far. Just getting back in.
Yeah, I missed. What was that, guys?
My brain goes kaput at whether we've seen you this season or not.
Yeah, no, I had a good run at the first race, but I missed getting into the server on time last week because of work and a misjudgment of the changes, so a bit of a bugger. So it's put me back a number of spots to the championship, but that's all good. We'll play along and see how we go. And I think Joe's in the same spot as I am, so we'll just keep working hard to get ourselves back up to the front, hopefully.
Yeah, definitely, mate. It's definitely not over in terms of the championship fight. So one round without points. If you can capitalise tonight, you'll be right back on the back of the leaders. We heard a lot about tyre wear tonight. Are you expecting the undercut to be quite effective?
Yeah, it's going to be tricky to pass on this track, so I think just trying to not spin it up and keep it nice and tight and apexes, and this track's really bad for off camber parts of corners, so trying to keep it high on the corner, and we'll see how we go. But yeah, no, it's it'll be tyre wear will be the answer to a good victory.
All right, mate. Well, hopefully your tyre wear is superior to others, and you can get yourself towards the front and potentially really stamp your authority on getting yourself back into the championship. So we wish you the best, mate. Good luck.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.
And that was your racecraft qualifying, or racecraft top 10 shootout, I should say. Darren Crosby will start off the front row alongside Jason Douglas. Darren Crosby taking out that racecraft pole position with a 44.3. Puts himself about 2/10 ahead of Jason Douglas. There's a fair clump of cars, though, running from 4th all the way down to 7th. Stephen Kennedy, Rick Vigor, Troy Dooley, and Liam Tipping all within just over half a tenth of a second. We will be back with the race very shortly, but we do want to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, of course, Simrigs.com, sponsors of our V8 Supercars AM series on Tuesday nights and the Supercars Pro-Am series on Sunday nights. Who else have we got? Tempting Sweets, who sponsor our driver of the day. Warren & Brown Tools, our round sponsor this evening. And, of course, Racecraft Simulations for sponsoring our qualifying and fastest lap and top 10 shootout this evening. I'm sure I've forgotten some, but they will definitely pop up throughout the intermission. And we will be back very shortly.
Every weekend I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other. It's part of who I am. If you ride, you know what I mean. That's why I insure with Shannon's. They get it. They share our passion and give us the features riders want, like limited use cover and multi-vehicle discounts. Shannon's insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. Whatever you ride, ride with Shannon's.
Call 134646 for a quote.
Rare Spares has over 50,000 product lines and releases over 500 new products every year. Your local Rare Spares distributor has what you need when you need it. And as the only restoration company officially backed by Holden and Ford, we take our part in your project very seriously. Rare Spares, more than just a part in your project.
Every weekend I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other. It's part of who I am. If you ride, you know what I mean. That's why I insure with Shannon's. They get it. They share our passion and give us the features riders want, like limited use cover and multi-vehicle discounts. Shannon's insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. Whatever you ride, ride with Shannon's.
Call 134646 for a quote.
Rare Spares has over 50,000 product lines and releases over 500 new products every year. Your local Rare Spares distributor has what you need when you need it. And as the only restoration company officially backed by Holden and Ford, we take our part in your project very seriously. Rare Spares, more than just a part in your project.
We will be back with you here any minute now for the feature race here tonight of the Simrigs V8 Supercars Amateur Series. Sit tight because we will be back and bringing you all the live action soon.
Every weekend I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other. It's part of who I am. If you ride, you know what I mean. That's why I insure with Shannon's. They get it. They share our passion and give us the features riders want, like limited use cover and multi-vehicle discounts. Shannon's insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. Whatever you ride, ride with Shannon's.
Call 134646 for a quote.
Rare Spares has over 50,000 product lines and releases over 500 new products every year. Your local Rare Spares distributor has what you need when you need it. And as the only restoration company officially backed by Holden and Ford, we take our part in your project very seriously. Rare Spares, more than just a part in your project.
Every weekend, I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other. It's part of who I am. If you ride, you know what I mean. That's why I insure with Shannon's. They get it. They share our passion and give us the features riders want, like limited use cover and multi-vehicle discounts. Shannon's insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. Whatever you ride, ride with Shannon's.
Call 134646 for a quote.
And we are back for your Simrigs V8 Supercars Amateur Series here on SRW TV for the feature race this evening. We did just run our top 10 shootout, and what a great start of our top 10 shootouts it was this season. We are here tonight at Barcelona. And tonight, I do mean tonight, because we are racing under lights. Lads do just have a bit of a practice session to get through, and then we'll be heading straight to our feature race. It is going to be an interesting one, that's for sure, as we see Tyson McAvoy, our race director, with a bit of a slide, always somehow managed to capture our race stewards sliding out in the safety cars. This is going to be an interesting one, a night race. 15-minute practice session for the guys to get settled in.
Starting from back of the grid. Not quite the back of the grid, but there were a couple of penalties handed out during qualifying. 69 Hannity will start off the back, and then also will be car 052. Scott Weston will also start off the back. So we'll be expecting them to surge their way through the field, especially Scott Weston, because he's sitting third in the championship at the moment. He's definitely due a good result here tonight, so I'd be expecting to see him climb through the field. It was a great top 10 shootout. If you weren't there with us earlier, please feel free to, once this race is finished, jump back to the broadcast and have a look. Have a bit of a watch of what was a very, very exciting top 10 shootout. From 4th to 7th was separated by just over a tenth of a second, which is quite incredible.
It was an absolute cracking top 10 shootout. Also, if you have not seen race 1 and race 2, they are live on YouTube for your viewing pleasure. And I tell you what, this AM series has absolutely kicked off with a bang. So go back, check out race 1, check out race 2. And then also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell to get notified when we go live for race 4. Before that though, we will have the Shannon's Toyota GR86 Nationals coming live to your screen Thursday night. I skipped one as well. Shannon's Formula 3 Nationals will come live to your screen tomorrow night at 7:30. Massive field for the Formula 3. Some really, really fast drivers out there in Australia, all jumping on board. 44 registered drivers and a packed field every week. Toyota GR86, again, great series. Had a phenomenal race at Bathurst last week, and I tell you what, definitely need to go back and watch that. One of my favorite races already this series this season. I think I'll be talking about it all the way through to round 9. Been some great driving already from all our drivers out on track. Just want to take a quick moment to thank all our sponsors. Of course, Simrigs.com for helping us with our V8 Supercars AM and Pro-Am series. Warren and Brown Tools for coming on board as our round sponsors. Safety car, thanks to the promo department. Qualifying fastest lap and pole position plus top 10 shootout is all brought to you thanks to Racecraft. And we also can't forget our other sponsors. Grim Industries, temptingsweets.com.au. Use code SRW10 to get a sweet deal off some sweet treats. Rare Spares and, of course, Shannon's, 2 big names in the vehicle industry. Yeah, sure, that sounds right. Coming on board to help out Sim Racing World this season and hopefully into the future as well. Jet dropped in. Was an accident to be dark. No, mate, in the Discord it does actually state Sim race time start will be 10:30 p.m. So it is going to be interesting to see how these guys tackle a night race. Don't really see them all too often, but it is going to be a solid race tonight. 60 minutes here at Barcelona. We've already seen that the tyres do take a bit of a beating, so we're going to see some different pit stop strategies. And probably some teamwork out there as well. Also forgot to thank all of you for joining us every evening that you do tune in to us here on SRW TV. We appreciate all the support, not just for us, but of course all the drivers that take to the track week in, week out. And a huge shout out to the SRW TV broadcast team and all the admins behind all the series. A lot of work goes into this as we run 5 different series a week.
Uh-oh. That's not the racetrack, Tyson.
No, I'm really good at catching that. Always seems to happen.
Now, chat, we will do our best. We will do our best to call the correct drivers. Maybe I'll even turn the camera.
To be sure. I will rely on timing through my live timing HUD. And I've gotten pretty familiar with numbers on cars now. On board with the Warren and Brown Tools cockpit cam just to see what the drivers will be dealing with in a night race. Now he's got that beautiful purple underglow shining through.
You know he was driving a Holden?
Cowie?
Yeah, does the dash not tell you enough?
Yeah, it's bright enough. Whoa, bit of a catch there out of the final corner. We've got 1 more minute left of this practice session before we head into the feature race. Listen to the roar of those V8 supercars. Music to our ears. All right, we are heading through to our feature race. So we bring the grid up. Darren Crosby will take out pole position here for our feature race. Jason Douglas will line up next to him. Tim Nicol and Stephen Kennedy will be in row 2. Rick Vigor and Troy Dooley, row 3. Liam Tipping and Petar Pavlovich in row 4. Joe Mahoney and Andrew Cowan will wind up down in row 5 thanks to the top 10 shootout results. Troy Sipple, Travis Daly, Bruce White, Callan Hodgkinson, Mark Horton, Travis Nielsen, Brett Taylor, Marty Hansen, Craig Healy, Stephen Sinkovich, Shane Newens, Mike Hadathy, Scott Weston. Tyson McAvoy is your race director this evening, and so is Daniel Fritz. As we get set and ready to race for the first time for our feature race here tonight. And we are off and racing, and we see... Oh, no. Cowie's already into the wall. What has happened there? There's a few cars into the wall. It's been absolute pile-up in the back of the grid. What has gone on there?
Tim Nicol will take the lead down into turn 1. Safety car, I believe, has been called. Everyone was very cautious down into turn 1. From the look of things. So, carrying on. Tim Nicol leads from Crosby. Douglas is in 3rd with a gap there. And then Vigor, Kennedy, Dooley.
No, I think... I don't know. Are they at full pace? No, I don't think they are. Let's just check on the promo department safety car. He is coming out of the pits right now, so that will be a safety car straight off the start. And we will be able to get a replay of what's happened. There was a lot of movement straight off the start. A car could have bogged down. We will get a action replay here.
Looks like... Oh, so it's teammates. Cowie and Travis Daly. So Cowie lit up the rears. Daly got a great start. Daly tried to make it 3 wide into turn 1. And then unfortunately, Cowie was there as well. So watch Cowie. Just breaks in a wheel spin at the second phase of the start. And then we've got one of the cars, Shane, who was that? Shane Newens, maybe? Mark Houghton coming through the field, unfortunately got involved.
It looks like Craig Healy. Yep, Craig Healy, Shane Newens, all trying to avoid the incident in front of them.
Travis Nielsen
backing
it into the wall.
have all collected each other, trying to avoid that start. Well, that's your one safety car for the AMs out there. Not the greatest start for this feature race. Tim Nicol will sit in P1 now, up 2 spots.
Take stock for a bit. With everyone just filing through in the safety car. So Nicol managed to get the start nicely. We'll go another lap on the safety car here.
I say the Beamer sounds really bloody nice.
Sounds better in real life.
Yeah, I bet it does.
Sounds so much better in real life. I went to Bathurst 12 hours this year, and of course WRT bought 2 cars. And during the qualifying session, one of the people, I think it was the Shell car with Vanderlinde, came over to the Philly Park where we were sitting right up against the wall, just let off throttle, and the turbo noises it was making were absolutely incredible. One of the guys in the group, he literally had a nervous shake, one of those type of moments as it came over the hill, and it was quite something.
Now I want to hear it.
Bison, can you hear us?
No, I want to hear it in real life. That's what I was getting at. Yeah, it's one of those nervous shake moments when it sounds that good. Ooh. I think it'd probably be a similar sound when I first heard a 2J twin turbo for the first time in real life. I nearly fell to the ground. That was the moment I fell in love with that engine, actually. What is your favorite sounding engine out there? To all the viewers watching us tonight, I gotta say, one of my favorites, definitely the 2J, but I'm a big fan of the Volvo 2.4 litre 5-cylinder straight 5. They sound absolutely menacing.
I've just had something come up on my screen.
Yeah, something about someone coming off track?
No, I've got Travis Daly actually crashed.
Yep, and nope, but the car in front of him is missing. I don't think he did.
It's saying on my timing that Travis Daly crashed, Travis Daly went off track, Travis Daly came back on track.
Yeah, I can
and he's fallen through the order.
Oh, he has. Yep, that's just appeared now. It's just shown me that he has dropped down. Sorry to do this to you, Travis, but we need to find out what happened.
Oh, he's trying to warm the tyres up.
Tried to warm them up around the corner. Lucky his teammate was there to let him slot back in. Yeah, teammates
were there.
Managed to, otherwise he was going to the back of this line. Tyson is in the pits. That means the field is handed to Tim Nicol for the restart. Wrong hotkey, ShiBBy. And he's already gone. He's off.
Trying to break that slipstream down into turn 1. We go green again. lap 4. Supercars AMs on a Tuesday night here, round 3. It's a good start from Tim Nicol off the restart. Darren Crosby and Jason Douglas battling it out behind. Just a straight line of 23 supercars running down into turn 1. ASR boys are getting at it together. Into the back.
Jason
coming under threat here from Stephen Kennedy. Jason Douglas right on the back of Darren Crosby as well. Mustang on the road here.
I thought that was...
Meanwhile, whilst all that's going on, we've got Newlands and Daly. Oh no. So Daly had gone up around the outside of Houghton, it looked like. Houghton. And all of that. Daly has been overtaken by his teammate now though. Coward in front of Daly, further back through the field than where they'd like to be. Coward has lost 7, Daly also lost 7. Scott Weston is up 10 spots already. 052 car.
That could have been because of the original start, avoided all that incident and managed to slot himself into a nice spot for the restart.
Over Crosby, over Douglas.
Douglas now on the back.
Wide on the back of Crosby here, looking for a challenge for P2. Both sides just tuck in behind. Over and under going on Crosby. Diminishing rewards as they now turn right to turn 11.
Oh, Crosby's in the wall. He's come across in front of the field. Everybody's managed to avoid that incident. That was extremely close. Split 2 packs by centimetres then. Douglas.
Unforced error there from Crosby. Fortunately, plummets his way through the field now as he tries to get back up to racing speed. Does give Douglas now though a bit of a free kick, challenging Nicol to lead this race.
Mahoney starting to gather his self and get on the back of Sipple. Still sitting in P9 where he qualified in the top 10. Long race ahead of us tonight though. Stephen Kennedy showing the nose to Rick Vigor. Liam Tipping sitting right on the back of them as well. Tipping showing the nose to Vigor. To Kennedy. Oh, Down the inside he goes. He's really on the top of him now. Will he get the run out of this corner he wants? It looks like Stephen Kennedy is going to get a great run through this corner. And look at Liam Tipping coming through now. They're too wide. Going to keep going too wide. A bit of a bump there. Stephen Kennedy has got that move done. Liam Tipping coming through on vigour as well. Now Troy Dooley is trying to make the move, and Petar Pavlovac is right on top of them as well. All of a sudden, everybody is battling for P3. Troy Sipple, Mahoney now, all on the back of this pack.
Every battle pack of your best AM drivers at the moment. Drive-through penalty for car 009, Mark Houghton. Drive-through penalty for car 73, Shane Newens as well. Further back to the pack. Got Scott Weston and Marty Hansen look like they might have had a bit of a coming together. Scott Weston has gone off track. Here he is.
Like they might have been battling at some point there. Darren Crosby. Already seen him hit the wall once. Looked a little unsettled coming out of that corner then. Evening, Ryan. How good is the boys sinker going tonight? Look, mate, he's not last, so I would say that's a pretty good positive. Marty Hansen is on the back of Cow, and they're actually side by side, 3 wide into that corner. Travis Daly managed to squeeze his way past his teammate and Marty Hansen there, while Hansen and Cowan were battling. Now Cowie is in a GMK Logistics sandwich. There's battles going on all over the field. Mahoney now, down the inside of Sipple. Great move, makes it look so easy. Cowan and Weston still in the background, fighting for position. Nielsen has now dropped into this battle as well. Mouse, there it is, it's back. Kennedy up the front, being attacked by Tipping. Tim Nicol has made a valiant lead, with Douglas chasing him down. Riding up the back wing here of Kennedy, looking at Liam Tipping, showing the nose, will come down the inside. He is right up the side of him. Will pull it up really nicely. They both get a great run out of that corner. But Tipping is going to hold it for now. Kennedy is still right on his tail though. Will not let him get away with this that easily. We move back further down the field. It's looking like Pavlovich now on the top of Dooley. Just can't get enough of these AMs. Who's that gone into the pits? Joe Mahoney has gone into the pits. Simon Hayes dropped in and said it's heating up now. It sure is, mate. This is where I wished I had grabbed 2 bottles of water instead of just one.
Joe Mahoney right now. See what his strategy is.
Interesting early pit, that's for sure. And he's out now, 13 seconds.
Yeah, so 14 second stop. Sounds like it might have been a tyre change and a top up of fuel. So I wonder if he's doing a bit of the undercut. You're trying to find some benefit from that. Back out, he's just behind Shane Newlands and Steven Sinkovich. So you'd imagine that Joe will make light work of those two, given we've seen his pace over the last last season as well. Douglas isn't letting Nicol get away too far though.
1.7 the gap. It is a long race, a 60-minute race with pit stops involved. Travis Daly is now battling it out with Brett Taylor. Craig Healy as well is in on this. Daly there in the center of your screen. Taylor and Hansen side by side now as well.
Back on,
Contact!
And Taylor's around. Everyone manages to just avoid any extra contact there, but Taylor is now battling with Nielsen, it looks like. Run down the hill to the final corner. It's showing on my screen that Steven simply crashed.
Yep.
Falling away off the back of new ones. He's back moving again now though.
Move back towards the front. This is a battle for P6 and P7. Troy Dooley of the 333 car, and Petar Pavlovich in the 216. Holden versus Ford. Craig Healy, Travis Daly are side by side. These GMK logistics boys do not want to let the PSR drivers around them. Looks like Travis Daly will sneak right in front of them now. Question is, will he be able to stay there with the two teammates chasing him down? It's actually three of them. Is there three? Two GMKs, a PSR, and another GMK. There is three of them there fighting it out with two of the PSR drivers. Jason Douglas has closed this gap to Tim Nicol to 0.8 of a second. He's definitely not letting him get away. Last laps, Jason Douglas has gone a little bit faster than Tim Nicol with a 145.3 to a 145.97. But Douglas definitely is putting the power down now to catch up. GMK boys still battling it out with the PSR drivers. Travis Nielsen has got himself into a battle with Brett Taylor as well. Cowie now showing the nose down the inside, keeping that extremely tight. Looks like he's going to get a pretty decent run out of this corner as well. Keep it clean, keep it right on the back of Marty Hansen. Troy Dooley has gone around and dropped 3 positions. Sipple, White and Crosby have all got around him. That's dropped Dooley down into P10. Probably not what he was wanting at that point. Scott Weston being brought into this battle. Oh, one of the GMK cars went off there. It's Craig Healy, his teammate, has now jumped in, but that's put Cowie even closer to the back of them. This is the battle for P12 on screen right now. See Cowie hassling the back of Healy. Bit of a lock-up from Healy. Cowie's going to commit and make his move and get around just like that. Small mistake, easy move for Cowie. And will continue to push forwards, chasing down Marty Hansen.
How long until we see the first round of pit stops? If you have a bit of safety car running, I'm expecting it probably looking anywhere in the next 2 laps, probably. Just based on the fact that Joe Marnie hit it very early relative to everyone else. So Joe at the moment showing a pretty good gain.
45% fuel restriction tonight. So I would think... do you know how many minutes of safety car there was? There was like 4 laps, wasn't there?
Yeah, so probably about 8-9 minutes.
Right, so I'm going to say within the next 8-9 minutes we will see, I'm going to say 5 to 10 minutes, we might start seeing the first line of pit runs coming in. That is definitely a guess, not any calculated. Bruce White here for new driver for LMR Esports, up 5 positions into P8, being chased down by Darren Crosby. And the M1 Racing Mustang with that bit of weight reduction from an earlier incident. Doesn't look like it's affecting him too much. Apart from the start, has been some great clean driving. Crosby just getting that nose on the inside there to let Bruce White know that I am still behind you and I will be coming for you. Jump on board with the Warren Brown Tools cockpit cam to see what it looks like from our driver's perspective. Bit of a battle starting to build up in the back as well from P13 to P17. Jason Douglas up in P2 is still closing that gap down on Tim Nicol.
But relative to their best lap times, they've already lost the second degradation. So you know the tyres are going to fall off. Just how much more do they have left? Egan looking for Kennedy now. Egan will drive up the inside on the brakes. Turn 10. Pulls it up nicely. Gets that move done. Up in the 4th spot now. Alright, so Tim is in, Jason is in.
It wasn't far off that 5-minute call. It was a bit of a stretch, 5 to 10, but...
I said 1 to 2 laps. So
yeah.
I'll take it.
Yep, you win.
Right, so let's see where Tim and Jason do pop out. Troy Sipple is also in the pits. Both drivers have stopped in their boxes.
A lot of timing table reshuffles here
as well. Travis Nielsen, 12.5 second stop. Jason Douglas, 21 second stop. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong person. So Tim's done a 19 second pit stop. Jason a 21 second pit stop. So there's a gain of about 1.5 seconds, maybe 2 seconds there. For Tim over Jason.
Joe's actually jumped Jason in that. Oh,
yeah,
no.
So Joe's managed to get the undercut to work.
Yep.
However, Jason will have fresher rubber, not by much, by about 5 laps though, which is probably still enough, given that over the course of a 13-second stint, they lost about 1 second in lap time.
Jason will also be on colder tyres at this moment. It doesn't seem to be making much of a difference. Him tipping, really pushing out away from the front of the field now. Scott Weston up 13 position. Stephen Kennedy is into the pits now as well. Very different timings. Bruce White's in now. Liam tipping for JT IT Race on Oz in P1. Rick Viggar is in P2.
pit out position at the moment for these two at the front when they do pit. In and around where Troy Dooley is coming up. Jason Douglas looking for the move on Joe Marty. Joe covers to the inside and the brakes into turn 4. Jason challenging hard. Look to the outside. Joe gives him enough space. Watch for the switchback now. Jason's going to try and get underneath him. Joe just parks it on the apex. That's exactly what he needs to do to prevent the run. Now into turn 7. Difficult to make a move with that line into the corner. Struggling to get on power there. Jason looks for the move up the inside. Very tight. Joe doesn't give him a whole lot of space, but gives him just enough. Jason, with that tyre life, just manages to get himself all the way around. Joe spins him deep into the corner. Going to go side by side down towards the second to last corner. Jason gets good drive off the corner. Joe doesn't want to give this up. Joe dives up the inside. Jason's going to try the switch back now to the final corner. Puts the nose in there. Joe's going to get a better run on the exit. Just runs a little bit wide. Jason's still there though. They're running side by side all the way down this main straight. Side draft action for Jason here. He's going to come back for Joe. Joe can brake a little bit later on the brakes. Go side by side. Joe just decides to bail out of it. So Jason Douglas does take the effective P2 in this race so far. Still got Cowan out in front of him. Hasn't stopped yet. He did stop on lap 1. Sorry, he hasn't stopped for an effective pit stop to effectively lead this race. But the battle between Jason Douglas and Joe Marty has let Tim Nicol run further and further ahead. That gap's out now to just over 5 seconds relative to Douglas.
Cowan's got 9 seconds due to not taking his pit stop yet. This could be interesting. Is Cowie the only one that hasn't had his pit stop yet?
He had a pit stop to repair damage.
But no actual... Yeah, right.
No physical pit stop, so...
The field is starting to spread a little bit here, and that is due to all the different pit stop strategies being used. So Cowan is now.
So based on my numbers, we'll probably pop out somewhere around where Brett Taylor is. Cal Hodgkinson down there.
Kennedy has just gone past him. There's Cowan now. Dooley, Pav, Crosby, White, Daly all passing him on the way through. Marty Hansen now. Cowie is on his way out now.
I wasn't far off.
We're pretty smack on.
There's Healy. Oh, it's teammates.
Yeah, it looked like his teammate actually sort of held Cowie up. Cowie wanted to get up and going, but...
Actually, Mike Haddathy might have held him out of pit lane there.
Yeah.
So, Cowie's lost out to Healy as a result of that.
Jump on forward.
Still want to see how this strategy from Joe Marty plays out through all of this. See Hutchinson inside of Taylor. Stick nicely. Pavlovich and Crosby, two challengers now. So Crosby had that moment last corner where he spun out, exited stage left. Douglas through takes second in this race so far. Marnie at the moment has closed that gap relative to Douglas. She's opening back up again, so it might have just been a little bit of good driving there. Bruce White from Esports with Hansen behind him. Sipple has ducked into the pits. His last pit stop was an 18-second pit stop, so there or thereabouts what we'd expect.
Something's happened to Dooley. He just dropped off the back of Pav, and that's brought Darren Crosby onto the back of Pav.
Crash from Vitality. Sipple's out of pits. Only 11-second pit stop for him. Oh, there's contact. Crosby went up the inside of Pavlovich. Yep. Crosby was all four wheels on the curb, trying to make a move stick. Unfortunately, that space just disappeared. Gets himself moving again. Almost into afterwards as well.
Very close.
So Crosby, though, really lost, 2 spots as a result of that contact. Dooley and Bailey are managing to pass them, so not a huge loss of time. See a replay here of what's happening to Mike Haddethy. He just runs wide at the final corner. Off track. Car bites when he gets back on, and big heavy contact into the pit wall there.
I think we may be getting a safety car for the second time this evening. Yep, it looks like he is parked.
So Tyson has left the pits. Tim Nicol, Joe Marty, Jason Douglas has stayed out. Liam Tipping has also stayed out.
Nicol
Daly, Tim Nichols back out again.
Big line of cars coming in though.
Marnie has been jumped by Daly and Pavlovich. Again, 2 drivers who haven't stopped. Nielsen has also got past him, but Nielsen's got 4 laps on those tyres. So lots of pit lane action here as the drivers do their second stop, hoping that this will be their second and final stop. Wait to see how this plays out relative for everyone else. Joe Marty basically gets a free kick though on that strategy. Given that I don't expect Douglas and Tipping to probably make it to the end. All these drivers who haven't stopped, they're going to be very, very tight on fuel. So McAvoy looking rearward to Jason Douglas at the moment, your championship leader. Sitting in first place, but with a question mark over fuel. Over fuel. Very tight. Travis Daly, Pavlovich. The tightest of anyone on fuel will definitely be Jason Douglas. 2 laps longer than everyone else. We've only got 4 cars who haven't stopped. And it looks like Douglas has dived into the pits. There.
As someone else is following him in as well.
Douglas and maybe Nielsen.
Nielsen, yep.
So
it is.
Nielsen's already stopped twice. So Tipping is probably the next one who's the question mark. Tipping, Daly and Pavlovich. Which will effectively promote Tim Nicol and Joe Marnie to the effective lead of this race. Good they need to pit again, but that we will have to wait and see on how that pit strategy plays out. throughout this race. Douglas and Nielsen, they're falling through the field pretty hard as a result of not taking that pit stop as soon as they could. Right, recap of the lead of the field for you. Tipping is currently in the lead of this race. He's only done the one pit stop though on lap 15. So question marks over whether or not he'll make it to the end on that strategy. Tim Nicol in P2 came directly into the pit lane in the lead of the race as soon as safety car was called. Travis Daly in P3, still question marks over fuel. Petar Pavlovich in P4, question marks over fuel. Joe Marty, after a little mistake in the top 10 shootout, managed to get himself up into P5. He should be good on fuel from here on out. Andrew Cowan, he stopped on lap 16, so he's probably closer to that be okay on fuel. Stephen Kennedy stopped on lap 18. He should be okay on fuel. Callan Hodgkinson, Rick Vigor, Troy Dooley rounds out the top 10. Darren Crosby, your pole sitter. He's sitting down in P11 at the moment. Marty Hansen up 6 spots in 12th. Troy Simple, Bruce White, Scott Weston, Craig Healy, Brett Taylor, Jason Douglas, then down in 18th position as a result of that late pit stop. Will most likely definitely be okay on fuel, but he's sitting a fair way down the order, so we'll have some work to do to catch him back up. Steven Sinkovich in 19, Shane Newens, Mark Houghton, Travis Nielsen, also one of those late stoppers after the safety car had already taken control of everyone. Safety car is accelerating away from the field, so we will get a green flag this time by Liam Tipping. Will take the field to green with an angry pack of supercars behind him. He's holding them for quite a while, and he's gone just on the exit of the second to last corner. Gets the run down through the last corner. Back to green racing here. 20 minutes left. The V8 Supercars AM series here on Tuesday nights, thanks to Simrigs. Running down into turn 1, Liam Tipping. How much fuel save does he have to do to make it home safely? Tim Nicol just staying with him. The field is all within 1 second of each other here. See a move go on there. Newman's looking for Sinkovich. Restart. Lovely flames on the overrun. And Marty definitely looking eager to try and make up as many positions as he can here. Tipping and Nicol have just dropped Daly a little bit outside 1 second. Wouldn't expect that to stay that way for very long, unless Daly is having to do a fair bit of fuel save.
Big wiggle from Kennedy there. I don't want to see another one of these M1 cars in the wall tonight. Pack is staying relatively close to each other at the moment. See how this progresses over the last 18 minutes of our feature race here tonight.
Only race tonight.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Being our usual who's that guy?
That was Crosby, yep.
So Crosby, I think, was one of those ones who...
It's got a drive-through penalty.
Got a drive-through.
Yep. Drive-through penalty for car 66. We'll see Jason Douglas back down into P15, down 13 positions. But the pits...
88. So Jason Douglas has got to drive through as well.
So leaving
a closed pit lane. He did leave the pit lane whilst the field was filing past. Weston dropped to the back of the field as well. Trying to make a move here. Coming around the outside of Weston, which he does. I wonder if Weston might have just given up the battle on that one. Douglas is due to tour the pit lane. That penalty. Gap at the front, still holding around 1 second. Daly, though, has come back into this battle a bit, catching right back up. Pavlovich and Marnie. Douglas has obviously gone into the pit lane. Serve his penalty. Come back out. Way down in 22nd position.
Oh. Drive-through penalty. Car 88 has now been disqualified. If I'm reading that correctly.
That's what I'm reading as well.
Not what we want to see from our championship points leader.
Having all the points gone missing here for him.
Yeah, having such a great drive too.
Yep. Anyway, the stewards have made their decision. Jump back to what is going to be an enthralling battle in the last 15-16 minutes or so for the podium position here. Tipping and Nickel. Tipping just holding on to that gap at the moment. But with how much fuel do we have left at the end? But Marnie just got past Pavlovich. For effective for P4. Run down the main straight, down a long side from a fairway back, and just get that move done down into turn 1. Pavlovich though looked like he was going to threaten. Just couldn't get his nose back up the inside. Some racing room into turn 2.
Tim Nichols closed that gap.
Back of Tipping.
Yeah, closed it.
Jump on board with Tipping,
Lots.
please, Mr. Director. I want to hear of his clutching down the main straight here. Not really. Sounds like he's still on it.
It's all going to come down to fuel. 15 minutes left to go. Round 3, Simrigs.com V8 Supercars AM series. Sounds like
maybe Nicholas just turned his aggression up. Really sending it now. Did a 44.7 on the last lap, compared to a 55.3 for Tipping. 55.8 for Travis Daly, so I think Nicola has just decided now's the time to start turning the screws on Tipping. Bit of pressure on. He'll try and challenge for challenge for a win here. Let's see how close he gets on the brakes. I think he runs a little bit wide on the exit of the corner there. Under brakes, big send. Oh, looks like there might have been a little bit of contact there. We see Daly and Marnie going at it in the background. Daly ran a little bit deep into that corner.
Great drive so far for all the drivers out on track. Look at that track map. They are all on top of each other. It is hard to separate this AM's series. As Mahoney is right on the back of Daly. Going to show the nose. Will he get the brakes?
Send it from a long way back. Daly just gives him enough space there. And this is invited Pavlovich in as well, so Mahoney needs to be careful of Pavlovich now. Try and threaten for this race. think the Nickel and so Tipping and Pavlovich are going to be okay on fuel, and Daly as well. Marty just runs a little bit deep through the corner, washes the nose out.
Look at this line of cars, and this is a battle for P3. Travis Daly in that podium spot right now with Mahoney, Pavlovich, Cowan, Kennedy, Hodgkinson, Vigor and Dooley all in this long line of cars. Nickel has closed that gap on Tipping again. Dooley is right on the back. Vigor is right on the back of Dooley. They're side by side. Vigor will squeeze that move through and get around Dooley to move him up into P9. Dooley going back at him. Side by side again.
Rear was just about to step out from Dooley then. Should have the run onto the main straight here. Vigor needs to be careful of Hansen coming up behind him. Hansen with the unobstructed run. Good straight line speed down into turn 1. Shows the nose. A bit too far back to make that move work. Marty's still on the back of Daly and Nickel. On the back of Tipping still towards the front of the field. His chances are running out a little bit here. Gets the nose right underneath the rear wing of Tipping. Tipping doing more than driving by his mirrors now. Nickel around the outside. He's not going to have the run on the exit. Tipping gets that back. Best opportunity is maybe into turn 10 now. It's not turn 10, he's probably got to wait all the way through until turn 1 for an overtake. Would give him the pressure. Tipping knows all he's got to do is hit his marks at the moment. He can hold on to this lead.
Travis Daly, Performance Sim Racing, with Joe Marnie on the back of him. Two JTIT teammates separated. Whoa!
Oh, Daly's in.
Daly's in.
So Daly doesn't. My guess is he can't make it on fuel.
It'll have to be 10 minutes to
is
go.
In as well. That means that Tipping is a question mark now.
This is going to be interesting. Stephen Kennedy now showing the nose to Cowan coming down to turn 1. Are they going to be side by side as they enter the turn? They are. Kennedy much stronger on the brakes there, but Cowan might have a chance to call back at him.
Got the run. Oh, just the room disappeared.
That's brought Callan Hodgkinson right on the back of Cowan as well. We are still in a battle here.
Tipping. Tipping's back in front of Nickel. Right off the back now. You see a replay here. This is into turn 4. There's no space given. Oh, Nickel's lost it under brakes on the dirty track. If I'm Nickel, I'd be expecting Tipping to pit though.
Aaron Crosby's got his way around Mark Corton. Up into P15. Crosby's down 14 spots. Scott Weston up 11 spots, our biggest mover so far. Callan Hodgkinson from Crisscross Racing pestering the back of Cowan from Performance Sim Racing. Tar Pavlovich and Travis Daly having a battle as well.
Slam Tipping pitting. Stayed out, so Tipping's gone around again. Tipping just throwing the caution to the wind here. Boy, the one-stop can't work. replay here of what's happened with Daly and Pavlovich. Pavlovich runs a little bit deep into the corner. Daly just goes through on the inside.
I think Petard gets him back. He does, under braking.
The send under brakes. There's contact a little bit.
And Travis will hold
Side-by-side
that
racing.
position.
Travis does just manage to get through. That was a send from Petar Pavlovich to try and make up for that little error he made. I think he was right back on the back of tipping though. I think tipping is in fuel save mode now. See how slow he is off the corner.
Here if there's any sign of massive fuel saving. It's a tough position for Tipping to be in. If he does need a fuel save, ran a bit wide there.
Yeah, there's clutch.
Yep.
There's clutch. Lifted coast there, for sure.
So this is going to give Tim Nicol, the Quantum Pecky's performance driver, an opportunity to take the race win. All he's got to do is get around Liam Tipping in 6 minutes. Be interested to see if Tipping can make it all the way as we come around for our 30th lap now. Joe Marnie sitting comfortably in P3. Definitely a position where he would like to stay locked in. Callan Hodgkinson, Cowan side by side, Vigor on the back of him. Cowan was able to stop that attack from Hodgkinson, but that's given Vigor a really good run on the back of Hodgkinson. And now look at Dooley. Dooley's getting involved in this as well. This is the battle for P5 right now. Vigor.
Hodgkinson here. He's one of those ones, he's done 15 laps on the tank.
Oh, and he's off. He's off. Falling through the field. There were so many cars on top of each other then. He has dropped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions off that small mistake because of just how close these guys are racing. Bruce White now up 4 positions into P9 on the back of Marty Hansen in P8. Battle will continue. Tim Nicol is now looking for the kill shot. Goes out. Gets a little squirrely. May not have been the right place to try and make that move then. Has allowed Tipping to now pull back away from him when he had closed that gap. Marnie is now also slowly creeping on the back of him, biding his time. Will there be enough time for him to get right to the back of Nicol and commit on a move and possibly secure a P2 if Tipping is fuel saving? Sipple now eating away at the back of Hansen. Vigor and Cowan just in front of him. Vigor is trying to make a move on Cowan now, side by side. Oh wow, Vigor just flew past Cowan. Made him look like he was standing still at that point. Dooley now on the back of Cowan. Tipping still trying to keep Nicol away. Marnie is closing that gap in as well. Only 4 minutes left of this race. Who is going to make the final move to secure their position and take home the points? Move back to Crosby, Taylor and Healy. Battle for P13. Sipple has got around Hansen. Sipple has now moved into P9. Dooley is hunting the back of Cowan. Is he going to make a move? He's got that. He's close. Can he make this work? Right on the outside, though. He's going to have to go in very deep. Getting a really good run out of that corner, though. We'll have the inside line here. Cowie just off the rear of him. Cowie looks, yeah, he got a good run out of that corner. Tipping's in the pits. Tipping is in the pits. That puts, nope, that puts Nickel in P1 and Marnie into P2. Stephen Kennedy will move up into P3.
Tipping's going to fall all the way down behind Pavlovich now.
He is dropping down into 10th now. Tipping falls. Marty Hansen, Callan Hodgkinson are also in as well. There's a couple other guys at the pit. Strategies didn't work as Taylor goes up the inside of Healy.
Not getting the move done. We'll be careful with Crosby. Crosby goes off track. Has to mount the curb and go aerial. Tipping has come out in between Daly and Pavlovich in the end.
Down into P17, this close to the end of the race. Unfortunate, Nickel has really pushed a gap out on Marty now. 1.7 seconds. Marty was 0.7 of a second behind.
I think it's the clean air for Nickel.
Pushing away.
To just stretch his legs. Jump back to White. Cowan now. So Cowie definitely in fuel save mode. See how much little run he had. There. Tucked in.
Oh, contact!
Contact! Weston, is it?
That was Sipple that just snuck through.
Sipple sneaks through into 6th.
There was a huge battle going for 6th place as we drop back. Crosby, Weston and Healy are still battling it out here. Sorry, Healy, Crosby and Taylor battling it out for P10. Solid driving. Healy has dropped off the back of Crosby now. That's brought Taylor right on top of him. Taylor will show the nose and go out wide down the first straight into turn 1. Taylor just not close enough to make a commitment to an overtake on that corner. Pavlovich unfortunately down to P18. Having a go at Daly, locks up the front. Big slide. Lucky he was practicing that in practice. Not that I have seen, Nate, but it has to be. Sometimes Barney does not show. We have gone over our hour. This must be white flag. Marnie now 2.4 seconds, 2.2 seconds off the back of Nickel. We'll follow Nickel around. There's a battle between Taylor and Healy.
Flag.
This is
it is
checkered flag.
Here. Tim Nickel will come home to win round 3 here at Barcelona. Marnie recovers 7 spots to come home in P2, really put his championship fight right back up there. Kennedy comes home P3 over Vigor. And then Dooley and Sipple. And Sipple will just hold on over White. Weston. Cowan. Crosby gets Cowan at the line. And Cowan just misses out by 0.04 of a second as we get a replay of this finish. So Cowan low on fuel, needs the timing line earlier, and Crosby just ducks out and gets that move done.
That must have been extremely close.
It was 0.04 of a second. There's the line. Oh, not even a car length in it. So Crosby does recover to 9th after starting on the pole position. That will do us to... Oh, hello. That's
Troy Dooley.
Corner for the Dooley. But it will be Tim Nickel who will come home in P1 over Joe Marnie, with Stephen Kennedy coming home in P3 to round out the podium. So the question marks about fuel were answered. If Cowie wasn't struggling, I don't know who was. And He pitted on lap 16 and couldn't quite get it to the end there. So, but well done to all the drivers. Nickel, really getting back into the swing of things. Nickel and Marnie, two of our championship protagonists from last season. Marnie managed to get the better of Nickel in that occasion. But these two drivers will not give up until the final checker flag falls in about 6 weeks' time. They will bring their cars around to the start line for some victory burnouts. Scott Weston started from the back row of the grid after not qualifying. Sorry, after a penalty in qualifying, and gets himself to 15th. There's Joe. Here comes Joe. Joe just crawling to the line.
Oh, wow, they were close.
And Tim Nickel, celebrate all you want, mate, because you are our round 3 winner here. Doing his best at the donuts he can under the lights of the pit lane grandstand and pit lane itself here at Barcelona. Get it, give us some stoppies, come on. Celebration of his result. Joe's given his best impression in the background as well.
Lost his wing. He lost his
He's
wing.
already hit a wall.
Stephen Kennedy for M1 Racing. His first top 10 shootout and will also take a podium finish here tonight. He's going to be stoked with himself after that drive. Look forward to talking to him in the comms box here. Joe Marnie is going to be absolutely tickled pink after a couple of rough last races. He's back in contention for that championship. What a drive by the Quantum Pecky's performance car, Tim Nickel. We will now get our results up. They are locked in. This is your Simrigs V8 Supercars Amateur Series results for round 3. Tim Nickel for Quantum Pecky's Performance, Joe Mahoney for JTIT Race on Oz, and Stephen Kennedy for the M1 Racing Team. Followed by Rick Vigor, Troy Dooley, Troy Sipple, Bruce White, Scott Weston, Darren Crosby, and Andrew Cowan will round out your top 10 here tonight. Fantastic driving shown, as always, by the AMS series. I still cannot wait again for next week.
Tell you what, Cowie has managed to recover to 10th after that contact on lap 1.
Yes.
That feels like a year ago, that contact on lap 1, given all the action that we had tonight. But he's done well to hold on there and has put himself in a great position back up to 10th. Couple of drivers unfortunate tonight. Petar Pavlovich, Travis Daly, Liam Tipping all didn't quite have enough fuel to take it home. Liam Tipping was leading until the second or third last lap, and unfortunately didn't quite have enough fuel in the tank. So I had to tour the pit lane for a splash and dash.
We are just waiting on Stephen Kennedy. Where is the AMS? Want to get our P3 driver in here. some of the guys that are new to our series. Still learning to come to the green room after the race is complete. We will start a replay though to see how all the action kicked off here tonight. Not sure if we're gonna get Steve, but I hope we do. What we'll do is we'll just jump straight into second place tonight. If Steve makes it, we can jump straight back to him. So we will jump straight into second place here for round 3 tonight.
Joe, well done, mate. Good recovery drive to get it up to third, up 7 spots in the end. So that's second. Sorry, it's been a long night. Up to second, up 7 spots in the end. So that must feel good, mate. Hey.
Yeah, it definitely does. Thank you, guys. I was very surprised by that. I was a little bit nervous that early stop when it took everyone else so long to pit. I thought I might have gone a little bit too early, but that second safety car came out at the perfect moment for me. And I had a nice little, I had a good vantage point for the goings on between Nickel and Tipping at the end there. Unfortunately, Tipping wasn't quite able to save enough fuel, but that was an amazing drive, even to get to that point.
Yeah, we saw Cowie was struggling towards the back end of the race with fuel, and I was like, if Tipping had saved from the start, he might have been okay for a solid haul of points in recovery of that, but unfortunately it wasn't to be, especially when you got Tim Nickel right up behind you. Mate, how does it feel to be returning to the podium after the up and down last couple of weeks you've had?
It's actually a really big relief, and it's really good to be talking to you guys at the end of the night after a result. I kind of take those heat races as like quarter time or half time. You know, the one you want to win is the feature race and be on the podium at the end of the night. So I'm stoked by this. It's not often that this happens, so I'll take it when it does come. And that was a great race. I really enjoyed that race. Just, working on the strategy and then just trying to put it in place, and then coming up behind those guys, I wasn't a little bit tentative, just making sure I just wanted to avoid contact at all cost with anyone, and it's a good result in the end. I'm very happy with that. So yeah, thanks guys.
Yeah, mate, it's very good to be speaking to you too after the discussions we've had midweek. Mate, your championship fight is now well and truly back on. Looking ahead to next week, we're at Imola, another one of these 60-minute races with the top 10 shootout. I'm sure you will be very eager to get going, eh?
I definitely will be, and the championship's going to be a bit hard for me because I'm actually missing a round because I'm going on holidays. So that was going to be my drop round. So unfortunately, the second half of the first 2 rounds hasn't exactly gone my way. So if I wasn't skipping the race, I'd be using one of those as a drop round. So it's even more important to get good results in the races I am in. So Imola next week, another tyre killer. The guys in Race on Oz have already been speaking about that because the Scops round is at Imola, I think the week after. So there's going to be there'll be a solid couple of weeks of driving around Imola. So it's going to be an interesting one. Usually there's some awesome racing around Imola, But again, it's a tricky track for lap one with that little bend halfway down that straight from the start line and then into the big braking at the chicane. There's always dramas, so it'll be an interesting one.
You got lucky, mate. You didn't have any of the carnage that happened. I'm sure you saw it in your rear view mirror and all the carnage that happened on lap one here, and that was on a straight line. So I can't begin to imagine what Imola's going to be like.
Well, part of that drama at lap one was actually because I'd bogged it down. I almost stalled it off the start line. So I've gone backwards with my race starts, which, I need to sort that out because, I was a bit of a sitting duck at that point.
Well, mate, you've got plenty of opportunities to get yourself sorted for those race starts and really challenge for this championship as best you can. Even though, yes, you are unfortunately away for a week, you're just going to have to make every race count from now on, and I'm sure you can do that, given your consistency last season. Mate, I'll give you a chance to thank your sponsors in just a second, but we're looking at your car now, and I seem to see a bit of a difference on the rear bumper. Has Gutter Knight taken on a bit more of a sponsorship position?
So they're the main sponsor of the Racing Oz, I guess the esports team. So the top guys in the Racing Oz team. So they're Gutter Knight's the main sponsor for them. So they've got a prominent spot on our car as well. So yeah, just another great sponsor that supports this hobby of ours. So it's great to have them on board.
All right, fly through the rest, mate.
So our main sponsor, JTIT, PC Consultants, Gutter Knight, BE Electrical and Solar, Gamesman, Pagnian Simulation, Selby Acoustics, and Ignition Controls. So thank you to the Racing Oz guys. They definitely helped me out in the last week and getting through the weekend's couple of races as well, get me back into gear back to where I want to be. And thank you to you guys and putting this on and the broadcast and the admin and behind the scenes putting it all together and race control. It's when that side of things runs smoothly, it makes it an absolute breeze to come in here and get racing. So thank you.
Mate, well done. It's good to see you back up here on the podium, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing how you go next week at Imola. Go well, mate, throughout the week, and we'll catch you next week.
Thank you, guys. See you later.
Congratulations, mate.
Cheers, ShiBBy.
All right, that was Joe Mahoney for JTIT Race on Oz, taking out second place tonight. We haven't been able to get a hold of Stephen Kennedy, who did finish in third place, so we will move straight on to first place tonight. Mr. Tim Nichols.
Hey, boys.
Hey, mate, congratulations.
Thank you. That was hard damn work, that one. That night, oh my God.
Did you enjoy the night race, though?
I did. It caught me out. I didn't know that the server was set up that way. It actually took me a bit to get the depth of field of the track was a bit different where in the daytime. So braking markers just look a bit different where you're obviously used to it during the day. But no, it was a bit of fun. A bit disco-like with all the headlights.
It looked great on the broadcast. I do like nighttime racing. It looks really good. Big difference though. We have been talking about trying to bring some more night racing into our series, especially with the 86s. They've all voted that the series through the 3 races progressively moves into a night race each week. So probably going to be seeing a few more, mate. You'll have to keep an eye on that series information in Discord where it says in sim race start time 10:30 p.m. for this race this evening.
I know. Noob got caught out. Anyway, that's all good. But hey, I'll put my request in. My most favourite, my fastest track is Daytona at night. So hey, if you
we were talking about this.
Yep. That that if there's one track to do a road series on at night, it's Daytona.
Yeah.
For
yeah.
a broadcast viewing, like it's next level. It looks very, very good on broadcast. And to drive, it's just equally as good, especially through the infield. Like you've got so much extra visibility with the track lighting.
Yeah, the Charlotte Roval's not too bad either. I don't mind that, but I haven't driven on that for a long time. At night, but yes.
I can't imagine, like, NASCAR around there looks weird as it is, but it's usual now. But I can't imagine a supercar going around Charlotte Roval that well.
It's it's no worse than Chicago or Detroit.
Now, I will ask a question, considering we're talking about tracks. Is there a track that we haven't run on for a while, or a track that we haven't run on at all, that you would like to see in Season 4? You can be as wild as anything.
There was a track, I was thinking about it yesterday. There's a track that I haven't been on for ages, which would be good. But it's got to come to me. Anyway, moving on. It might come to me while we're talking.
Because I feel like we did Detroit last week. Oh, sorry, 2 weeks ago to start the season, and I was like, yeah, Detroit's good. It's a hybrid of, like, your Adelaide, your Gold Coast, your Townsville in a sense. Like it's got a bit of everything going on. But then you brought up Chicago. Now, I'm kind of a fan of the Chicago street circuit, and I think it would be a lot of fun in these cars. Gives you a bit of the Homebush vibe from quite a few years ago now. But I feel like that's one of those tracks that could get a good run, especially now that we've seen what a supercar driver can do in a NASCAR in real life around there. I feel like it's got a bit more of a bit more respect and a bit more community engagement.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan. Street circuits they're tough. They don't allow for any mistakes. They make for good racing. My only thing is it does challenge people on overtakes to make those risky moves. But hey, if you guys want to put up Chicago, I'm all for it. Yeah, that's a thumbs up for me.
Well,
Long Beach, Long Beach, you can shove that one.
Yeah, I don't. Long Beach in supercars, not a huge fan. Long Beach in a GT3 car, I do like, and any like a Porsche Cup or something, but not a supercar. I feel like the track just isn't quite suited to them as best as they can be, I suppose, as other street circuits. Mate, it's good to have you back on the top step here. Looking forward, we've got Imola next week, which should be a fun track for these cars as well.
Yes.
What do you reckon your chances are for this championship? Do you reckon you're in with a fight?
Up until tonight, I was, it was two minds of where I would potentially end up at the end of the championship. If Jace continued to run how he was running, he was going to be streaks in front of everyone, but he had a shocker tonight with his pit lane issue. Rattler's not in tonight, so there are some others that are hovering around, obviously near the top, but it definitely, there's no big standout at the moment that's streaking away with win after win after win. So it's really broken it up a bit, which has brought a bit of hope back to it.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I feel like you were in with a fight last season until the back end, and I feel like you've started your run perfectly now. 6 rounds to go, and everything to play for, and I'm very much looking forward to your fight moving forward, mate. I'll give you a chance to thank all your sponsors.
Thanks, guys. Obviously, Pecky's Performance Dyno Tuning in Darwin, Quantum Tint Solutions in Brizzy. What else have we got? We got West Oz Roof Restorations. That's Dan in WA. Obviously Tim Nicol Photography and the services that painting cars. Pelican that gets around. That's a Tim Nicol special. Yeah, and obviously you guys, Race Control, the wife allowing me to do it. No, it's great. And obviously all the other races and podium getters.
Yeah, mate. Well done once again on your performance tonight. You are taking home P1 this evening, and thanks to Tempting Sweets, a little prize package will be on your way. Don't eat it all at once though when it finally arrives.
I think I'll be my son. I'll have to keep it off him.
Well, someone's got to keep you going.
That's it.
So well done, mate. We look forward to seeing you next week around Imola, and hopefully you can replicate this performance when we speak to you again.
Beautiful. Thanks, guys. Much appreciated. Take care.
I got a question before you go.
Oh,
you got a discount code for Quantum Tint Solutions up here in Brizzy?
I reckon we could sort you out.
Because
for sure.
The poor 2008 VRX Lancer really badly needs its tint doing. So,
all right, we'll get Sips to help you out.
You have to reach out to me, mate. I would love to support the community rather than going somewhere else. So,
yeah, nah, for sure. I'm sure Sips will be keen to help you out. That's for sure.
That'd be awesome. We'll get him to reach out, mate, and we'll try and support some of the sponsors, of course, to keep you guys out there on the track, mate.
That's right. Just be careful. It's not a reach around. Just a reach out.
Well, mate, I've got a pretty impressive beard, and if they've got beards, you know, it's like Avatar where they sort of just conjoin together and, you know, we just can't help ourselves.
Okay. All right. I think I might get out of this conversation.
All right.
Yeah. Sorry, my bad.
At 10:30. Oh my gosh.
It's past the G-rated session, so you know we're okay.
And
when does this?
I say hi to Stinky too. Oh, is it Stinky? Your son? Sneaky.
Oh, Sneaky Rabbit. Yeah, Sneaky Rabbit. Yes, that is my son.
You're watching.
I haven't seen him drop in, but yes, he did. You are his favorite driver because you share the same name.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Well, congratulations, mate. Go and celebrate, and we look forward to seeing you back out here on track again next week.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.
See you, mate. Right, what a phenomenal race this evening. And we get to do it all again on Sunday night for the Pro-Am series as well. Tim Nicol did take out your P1, Joe Mahoney P2, Stephen Kennedy in P3. Absolute astounding race from all our drivers out here on track tonight. We couldn't do it without, of course, Simrigs.com. Use code SRW10 at checkout to get another discount off all purchases. Warren and Brown Tools, of course, can't do it without them. They've been an absolute massive supporter of Sim Racing World since they came on board. Racecraft, yeah, that's the one. Thanks to Racecraft for coming on for our qualifying session, top 10 pole position. So all done by Racecraft. Safety car by Promo Department. Thank you so much to Grim Industries, home of the V8 coffee table. Temptingsweets.com.au. Use code SRW10 at checkout to get a sweet deal off those sweet treats. And of course,
I'm going to interrupt you there on Tempting Sweets. We have something we have forgotten.
Driver of the day.
Driver of the day.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to say Scott Weston?
Of course you can, mate. He had a phenomenal drive, up 15 spots.
Phenomenal drive, 15 spots, even though he had that, was it the penalty he got from qualifying?
He got a drive,
still managed to recover himself all the way up to P8, and that's an outstanding performance given the field and the caliber of drivers here. Managed to keep his nose clean all the way through. So I'm going to be saying Scott Weston for driver of the day.
Mate, I am going to second you. It'll be one of the first weeks where we've both been able to go, yep, definitely. Let's get that up on screen and get him the little podium interviews, even though he's not on screen. But our driver of the day will be Scott Weston for the GMK Logistics team. I will reach out to him and we will be sending him a little congratulations package thanks to temptingsweets.com.au. But SRW10 at checkout to get another a discount off your next purchase with temptingsweets.com.au. And a massive shout out to, of course, Rare Spares and Shannon's for just coming on board just recently and helping us put on all this awesome racing for you to enjoy. I have been Nathan ShiBBy Howard. The man that spoke more than me tonight was Thomas Preach. Riley, has been a pleasure doing it with you again this evening, sir.
As usual, mate. The pleasure is all mine, having you as my co-commentator and as our producer / cameraman / broadcaster / I don't know what else you do, but you do a lot. So thank you for having me on board, and thank you for being such a wonderful co-commentator.
Oh, cheers, mate. And on that note, we're going to end this broadcast by saying stay safe and race hard.
Race hard.
Race really hard.